last weekend?
Yeah.
Was it last weekend?
2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago. Have you been hearing about that Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, right?
Oh gosh, yes.
We were in the place
That
where
was her district?
that was her district. And we were driving through, we're like, what godforsaken place is this? And I was like, I don't think that my issue with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it might be an unpopular opinion, is that I think it's wrong to try to kick her out.
How so?
She is just a representative of her people. She's literally a representative, meaning that she embodies the ideals and principles of the people who voted for her. So basically what you're doing when you kick her out is you are disenfranchising those people. You're kind of telling those people like what you think doesn't matter, right? Now, that's how I feel about you kicking her out. Now, I have a totally other idea regarding the constituents, right? Which is, I think that we need to stop going after her, right? She's a representative, right? But I think we need to stop going after her and go after the people who voted for her. And go after is obviously more of like have a really nice conversation and kind of see where their heads are at. But there are people who voted for her because they believed that they felt as though what they believed in could be represented through her, right? And her beliefs also align with them. And I think that's the issue. And I think that's a lot of the issue with politics is, with politics, we always want to go after the representative, right? We always want to go after the guy, but when we forget to realize those people are elected officials. It's the people's will that are implanted into them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for her specifically, what is it? So if you remove her from office, and just because of things that she said,
I don't think you can, but they removed her from her committees.
Yeah. Okay. Which I guess is fair, just because some of the stuff she says is pretty close-minded, I guess you could say. But how do you have a conversation and get through to those people who elected her, voted for her?
Well, I think from what we've seen, and I think this is a great thing about like us having been there, I don't want to say it's a lost cause. I don't think everyone's worth saving. I think it becomes from an insular mentality. Like, we went up there, bro. That was far. Yeah. That was 2.5 hours away from where we live. And we already live an hour outside of Atlanta. So that was far, bro. And like, the thing is, they don't have a lot of, what's the biggest city next to them? It's either Atlanta or Chattanooga.
And
I feel like Chattanooga is not even like
really Nashville, which is probably another like additional
hour and a half, 2 hours.
So.
Like, they just don't have experience and exposure to all they know is what they know. Right? And I think the only way you can change that is you'd have to literally transplant minorities or not even minorities. You'd have to transplant even other white folks from like Atlanta or a big city into there to kind of like show them another way, right? But who's to say that our way is the right way, right?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely fair. It's definitely purely opinionated. That's one good thing about this, country is, everyone gets to hold their own opinion. But realistically, who from Atlanta is going to go move?
Bro, you could not pay me enough money to get called like the N-word every time I go to the store. I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not doing that.
You could supplement everything about my life, all my expenses.
I'm still not moving there.
It ain't worth it. No.
It snows up there too.
Yeah. Sucks.
And that's the thing. It's like, we have a fundamental divide in this country, and everyone thinks it's like political. It's like, it's physical. Like, physically, people do not live near each other, and like, that's always going to create difference. There's like holy shit.
Got some cloud coverage. Temperature dropped like 15 degrees.
But yeah, physically, people don't live next to each other, so it's always going to create an issue. And the thing about California, it's like same thing in California, same thing in like Texas, and same thing everywhere else. Austin, my father used to live in Austin. Austin's like a pretty liberal, progressive city. Like 2 hours outside Austin, it's nothing. And the people there are not like liberal, progressive people who care about the same things you care about. The divides that we see are physical, right? I think what really was nice is like television. Television was able to cut some of that divide down because it creates globalization. You get to see other things in your own home. So I think television has helped a decent bit.
Also, I think it's hurt too because they see the bad stuff that news peddles. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, that just more so fortifies some of their ideas. Because if you're so closed-minded normally and you get exposure to, tons of stuff on the internet, social media, all this kind of stuff, it more so kind of narrows your focus to what you like.
Yeah.
And so it's only going to continue to feed into that. And so they'll see, oh, well, so-and-so did this. Like, oh, we hate them, as a group. I think technology makes things better, but also makes things worse, too.